author of several spiritual books. And one of my fortes, one of the things I focus on most, is helping people really raise their frequency and improve their lives. Today, I wanted to talk to you about perception and about how to handle, spiritually speaking, your perception of everything going on politically and of everything that's going on for you so that you can raise your frequency and get the best life possible for yourself, regardless of all of the things that are going on, which may include a lot of changes. One of the things that's most interesting and that's sort of most fun is my husband has been teaching spirituality with me for those nearly 20 years as well. And when we've worked with students who have worked with us for several years as they're raising their frequency, as they're learning to sense energy, and as they're improving and empowering their lives, one thing that happens is our students are often surprised and give us a look like, well, this is this way, right? And they kind of look at us like, or am I wrong? Am I totally misseeing this? Because it isn't uncommon, unfortunately, for people to really misperceive things, to not see the writing on the wall and to not see what's right in front of their nose. Now, what's really interesting is the ability to see what is something that is innate to us. Children see what's right in front of them. They say it, and sometimes we're embarrassed when they tell someone that their nose is whatever you want, purple, that their hair is sticking up on end, that they're, something, because people take it as an insult. And so children learn not to really say or see what they see, but see what they're supposed to see. By the time you're an adult, you're a master of seeing what you're supposed to see and not necessarily seeing what's actually right in front of you. One of the things that happens is my husband and I watch things, we watch people, we watch the news, and we see what's really there. We can see when a politician is talking and not being honest, not being truthful, when they're hiding things, when they have another agenda, and the agenda is not what is supposed to be a political agenda. A political agenda is supposed to be to do what's best for the people, by the people. At least that's the idea in our country. And yet, it hasn't happened, and it doesn't happen. And, we all know this. We all know that politicians are corrupt, that all sorts of other things are happening with politicians, that the political world is big and complicated and nothing straightforward. Well, at this time, a lot of what we've seen and a lot of what we think we've seen, a lot of what we've been told, hasn't necessarily been the truth. A lot of things might change. And actually, no matter what happens, everything is going to change because the universe is constantly realigning itself right now and right now and right now. My African Cape parrot Macy just joined us, and you can see she's debating whether or not to stop giving you the cold shoulder. As everything changes, things are going to change in a direction that either you agree with, that you disagree with, or if you are like one of many people that just don't like change, you're just not going to like it because of the change. However, every day changes. Everything changes all of the time. One of the basic spiritual principles is to learn to flow with change. So as these things are happening and as we are going to have political changes, whether you think they're good, bad, right, or wrong, you want to know how to deal with the change and how to spiritually really focus on yourself and raise your frequency so that regardless of what happens, you're going to be improving yourself and your life. After all, the only way you're really going to hope to invoke any change outside of you and make life the way you think it should be is going to be if you are in a good place yourself, if you are empowered yourself, and if your energy is more highly vibrating. How do you do that? How do you start to maybe put yourself in a position where you actually see what's there, where you watch the politicians and you have a really good sense of who's lying, who's hiding things, who has a hidden agenda and who doesn't, regardless of what they're saying? Well, your power lies with you. So today I'm going to talk about something I'm going to call an inner circle of influence. If you want, you can think of it as the space of your aura. You can also think of it just as a circle around you, almost like what's within your reach in your life. Because here's what happens. One of the greatest ways a magician is going to trick you and work their magic is by diverting your attention. When you divert your attention and you allow yourself to be distracted and you look somewhere else, you lose focus of what's here and now, and in a way you lose focus of the illusion and you get tricked and you think that something magical has happened. So, if you can start to recognize that your power lies in focusing on what's here and now, your power lies in yourself. Your power doesn't lie in telling a politician or anyone else how to run the country, that kind of thing. Unless you're a politician, then that is within your circle of influence. But if you're not a politician, if politics are beyond your reach, then let's work with what's in your reach because that's what's in your power. Start to focus on yourself and your life. Start to focus and look at yourself. With the epidemic going on, you want to make sure that very plainly your physical self, your body is healthy. It may sound so elementary, but just starting with your body, with how you feel, taking responsibility for how you feel and for what you think. Cleaning house, so to speak. If you think Washington should do a better job and clean their house, start by cleaning your own house. Because when you think something needs to be done outside of your circle of influence, it often needs to be done within. So it sounds like, Kaylin, what is that going to do? But you would be astonished at the power. Start by focusing on yourself. Focus on your body. Get your body in good shape. If you aren't feeling healthy, if you aren't feeling like your body, maybe you feel like your body's overweight, maybe you feel like you need to exercise. Whatever you need to bring to yourself to bring balance to your body, this is a really good time to do it. Next, emotionally. How do you feel if you are angry at what's going on politically, if you're unhappy with your life, if you are unfortunately in a situation where your business has been shut down and you don't have the economical means to take care of yourself, then there's a lot of emotional work to do. Can you wave a wand and change it? No, you can't. And no one else really can for you either. They might say they can, but they're not really going to be able to do that. You are going to have to empower yourself because that's the way that all of this works. If you're on a spiritual path, you have to recognize that power comes from within. Power may come from the universe, it may come from something higher than you, but it never comes from other people. People aren't really going to hand you power, or even if they are, how long are they going to do that for? How well is that going to work for you? Do you want to wait and depend on someone to hand you a stimulus check, someone to hand you the money to pay your mortgage, someone to hand you the money to buy your food? Or would you rather, if you got to make those choices, if you got to decide when you had money, if you got to decide whether or not you had the money to take care of yourself, whether or not you had the means to take care of yourself? Can you have that level of power? And does it start somewhere in your emotional thinking ability and your mental thinking ability? Yes. And so, do you want to start to clean house and take care of yourself emotionally? Start to take responsibility for how you feel. Start to flow your energy so that you raise your frequency. Start to clean up your own thoughts so that instead of blaming others, you start to focus on how can I change myself right now? How can I improve my life right now? Can simple things like tapping into gratitude, trying to turn off blame or anger, and instead focus on whatever you can find, any excuse to be grateful right now. Are these simple things going to help you shift so that your circle of influence becomes more empowered, so that you start to feel better, so that you start to change your life circumstances by not changing anything outside of your circle of influence, but just changing yourself, by just starting to take actions. Maybe as you start to clean up and you stop blaming and you start to take some power within yourself, be grateful for yourself, maybe then you're going to start to have a thought about what you can do for maybe a new business, for some income. Can you start to shift how you see things, how you attract things, and start to take actions that are in alignment and change your life? Absolutely. Over the next few days, maybe weeks, we'll see how much I can do. I would like to start to talk to you every day, start to help you empower your circle of influence, and hopefully start to give you a place where you can come for some good inspiration that has nothing to do with anything other than helping you to empower yourself. Because in what I call this age of authenticity, the years of 2012 moving forward, an age where we're called to be more authentic, one of the many things that's going on is we're going to start to see some truths. We're going to start to think that what we thought we could trust, what we believed, maybe aren't so. And the reason for that is they were outside of our circle of influence. You're going to have to start to learn how to believe in yourself and trust yourself. And we'll talk more and more about that as time goes on. So please be sure to subscribe, like the video, and check back frequently as we help you, like I said, empower yourself, really learn to flow with the changes that are coming, and really learn to live your best life. Because when we each live our best life, we're going to affect everything around us better than we ever could if we were trying to directly work outside of that circle of influence. So let's all change the world by changing ourselves. But most importantly, raise your own frequency, shift your experience, and improve your life. Thanks for sticking with me today.